My topic was actually something that I came up with today because, okay, you guys know I teach computer programming classes. One of them that I teach is hardware basics.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So in there, I teach them like about CPUs, GPUs, RAM, etc. And I had a student who brought in a video, okay? And in that video, they had somebody with a CPU, and they just took and just scraped off the pins off the back, okay? They were just scraping them right down. It sent shivers down my spine. Seeing all those little bitty needle-like pins just going down and like falling across each other, and it gave me a really bad cringe moment.
You can't see my legs, but they're actually like tensed up right now.
Yeah, like just the thought of that just makes me cringe, you know? So, what are the things that make you guys just shudder cringe, you know?
99.9% of the stuff on TikTok.
TikTok in general.
Yeah.
I don't watch it because it's stupid and worthless.
It is stupid.
I
Zach,
use
I'm
it to
sorry
try to
that
get
you
people
have it.
to the stream, but
It is the dumbest platform.
Oh,
and
it
I would
absolutely
never download it ever.
it is the absolute worst thing.
Calling it a
but,
platform is kind of,
Yeah, I don't even want to call it that.
but yeah, I would say that is definitely one of those. And then like the video I showed you where they're experimenting with weird things.
It's like Vine's mentally handicapped little brother.
Yeah. It's a redheaded stepchild. No.
So
All right, sorry, I can't say that. Never mind. Move on.
well, you already did.
No, it went way worse.
Oh, okay.
No, we're good.
You should text it to me.
We'll see afterwards.
But another thing is like when people, even as a joke, will put thermal paste everywhere on the socket. Like that's another one. If we're just going like tech stuff like that, it bugs me as well.
Or like putting cheese as thermal paste.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like when he uses weird stuff as thermal paste. But then the memes where it's like, oh, don't forget to load up with thermal paste in your socket to prevent it from overheating.
You mean what is it?
The Verge?
The Verge, yeah.
I love when Kyle was reacting to that. That was Lyle. He does that Asian accent the whole way through. It's so funny. But that's not here. That's not near or there. But no, the funny thing though is there's a bunch of stuff that just makes me like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
You know what another thing is that just kind of makes me cringe that way? Dancing. I don't know, like when people make dance videos for TikTok and stuff, like obviously, but like when people do that,
TikTok in general.
I will see people on Facebook, like they will record themselves in their room dancing to a song, and I'm like, just stop. Like,
Actually,
I can appreciate
there's some good
actual
dance.
dancers,
Yeah.
like choreographed, like people that's their job
Yeah.
and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
see, I've seen groups though that will take a song and like they'll choreograph a whole dance to a song and upload it to YouTube, and I'm just like,
I think
it makes me
depends,
cringe.
It depends how good it is. Like
It makes me
I actually
cringe.
think there is one.
That's an art form.
Yeah,
so I
there
can understand
there is
that.
one TikTok like dance trend that I actually do like quite a bit. It's like I think the song's "Write It." It's called "Write It."
It's on
and
TikTok
it's like,
now.
There's
It's not real.
it's actually really
Go
cool.
to YouTube, you book it.
It's
YouTube
Not-
shorts.
or you could you
Not
can
on
YouTube
TikTok.
these, but like yeah, you can YouTube these. This is where I watch them because I don't have TikTok. But like it's really cool because like it's kind of like this kind of lo-fi song, and people like do this like kind of line dance to it where like they're in a line and then like they look like they're like walking in place, and then they like split and it's kind of hard to explain, but they like so like they're in a line and they like move as they're doing it, so they look like they're walking in place but they're like moving, and it's like actually really cool. I'll have to show you guys later. But like so that stuff I get, but like yeah, it's just some cringy like girls doing stupid TikTok dances. Yeah, those are cringy.
like those make me cringe every time I see them.
No, absolutely. I agree
I
with
sit
those.
there and I'm like, what hell has the earth gone into to lead us to this point?
On top of that is when you actually are in real life and you have the girls wanting to do that, and like so example, like when I was in Georgia, like the youth group I was a part of, there was girls trying to get me and the other leaders to be in their TikTok dances, and they were like practicing them, and like I was like, oh, this is so cringy. I do not want to do this.
It's like, no.
You did it, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
I totally could
Good.
see him doing it. That's
See,
No.
that's the thing.
All
I
you
don't
gotta
mind
do
Never
is-
give in.
All
Never
you
give
gotta
in.
do is throw a nice boy band song on, and he's there.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. That is true. But I don't mind dancing. Like I obviously I kind of like it. Like I
I'm
was
not
in
a
show
dancer.
choir. Like I did this stuff.
The music
I
moves
danced.
me. It moves me ugly.
But I think it also is you have to know choreography. You can't just be
Yeah.
like, oh, let's do this.
Just going out
moves.
and moving, letting the music move your body somehow. Like that's not me.
Well, see, even like there's the house across
I'm an
the
awkward
street.
old white guy.
Yeah, like the house across the street. I see this all the time. One of the girls that lives there, she is, I believe, a sophomore in high school, maybe sophomore or junior. Honestly don't know how old she even is. But she will go out, she will set her phone up on the windowsill outside, and she will dance outside, recording TikTok. She'll go up, she'll watch it. She'll put her phone back, she will dance. She will put her phone back, she will dance. And like, it's the same dance. And I sit there, and every time I'm just like, I'm watching TV in the living room or something, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, please stop. Like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
I don't even want people to drive down my street when she's doing this, because it's like, people just know that my neighbor is like super cringe.
Like, I would see that, and if it, like, maybe just like, you know, dancing, whatever. I mean, if it's in public or private or whatever, and you just want to, like, you like dancing, maybe that's something you're into. I could see that being fine. Like, I don't care too much. Like, I understand it's an art form and stuff. Mm-hmm. When you do it for TikTok, all gone.
Yeah, I agree.
All gone.
Well, see, there's another thing too that I would have cringed at it, and this is kind of how I've changed too. You know, I would have cringed at something, you know, 10 years ago. I'd have been like, this is the stupidest freaking thing, but then now I do it when I go out places. Like, if I would have saw someone holding a camera, walking around talking to it, I would have been like, what are you doing? Like, vlogging, right? I vlogged my whole vacation. I loved it. Like, it was so much fun doing that. And
see, I think
that's another one of those things. Like, when I see people in public doing it, even now, I sometimes think, like, dude, you look like an idiot. But then I realize I am that idiot.
I feel differently. Like, I think that it depends. And I think you know this. I have like no issue with it. I actually
when we
think
were at the gas station,
I don't have an issue. But when you make a scene about it, it makes me cringe. So an example is like
when you do it.
Jordan was helping me move back. We stopped at a gas station
in Tennessee,
and he's so loud, and he sees these T-shirts they have. For some reason, this gas station had like merch.
It was a Love's gas station. They were selling like stuff for Tennessee.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, let's get some gas station merch. And like everybody was looking.
I go, like, hey, Logan, look at this. We can get some gas station swag.
Yeah. And I was like,
that is cringe.
That is cringe.
Everybody I did it to embarrass Logan.
Yeah, everybody's looking, and I'm just walking away, and I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. I don't like this.
And I was like, I'm following him like with my phone. I'm like, hey, Logan, gas station swag. Come on, Logan. Like, and he just is like, I don't know this man. Because here's the thing, I don't care. After so many years on Twitch, and so I've given up caring at this point what people think in public.
Yeah.
Logan hasn't hit that point yet.
See,
so for me, it's funny when
it's different for himself, whether than you doing it for him. As well, though.
Yeah. I also like I said, I like the idea of people vlogging. I think it's cool, and there's actually a good bit of vlogs I watch. Like
when it takes effort and it's actually creative content, that's great.
Yeah, like I don't
like that takes effort. That's something of value.
But when you're like,
I don't see that with TikTok.
No, and like, but like when you're say you're doing that in public, like making content like that in public, and you're making an effort to make it as like make people look at you and be like, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing. Then it's an issue.
See, but I didn't do it to make people look at me. Yeah, I did it to embarrass you.
Yeah, you did it to embarrass me.
Which was a huge difference.
It actually worked out. It definitely embarrassed me. But, like, that's kind of a tip for people that want to do that stuff. Yeah. It's like, don't do it just because you want people to look at you and, like, oh, look at this person, they're doing a video.
Yeah.
Like, do it just because, like, you want to share your life with people. Mm-hmm. And just act normal and be yourself.
And there's another side of that, too, where... Like, for instance, Adam and I, when I was in Ohio, we went to Texas Roadhouse. And I didn't vlog at all while we were in there because it was completely full. And I didn't want people behind me to, like, be like, okay, no. Because, like, if it's other people I don't know, I don't want to embarrass people I don't know. I don't want to put them on camera and, like, have them, like, shoving their face full of food. So I didn't.
You don't want to ruin people's experience, too.
Yeah, so I was respectful there because I didn't know the people. I knew Logan. So that's different, you know.
Yeah, it's like talking in a movie theater.
Oh, don't
when you ruin someone else's experience that they paid for.
So I wasn't going to pull out my camera and start recording in Texas Roadhouse because there was people behind me, and I'm not going to have them
lucky I don't stand up
and do stuff like that.
That drives me nuts. That's actually that's one for me too.
People standing up and clapping in movie theaters?
No,
that's super cringe.
It depends.
Super cringe. Yeah,
just disrespectful children like that. Like, so we went to Venom. 2 weeks ago now? 3 weeks ago now?
2 maybe?
Yeah, I think it was 2. Anyway, pretty much the weekend Venom came out, and there was these 2 groups of kids. One was really
one
bad.
On the other side was the worst.
Yeah, one was right before the movie was probably the worst. And basically what happened is, like, this movie started, or like the credits, or not credits,
Child
but like
who was up past his bedtime.
Yeah, the trailers had started, and this kid was being loud and obnoxious and like kind of walking
He's
up
just
and down
trying
the
to
aisles.
bring attention to
Yep,
himself.
exactly.
Just
That's all it was.
for the whole purpose. Just super loud, screaming, saying dumb crap on
Yep.
purpose.
And Dan looks at him and he goes, "Sit down." And this kid goes, "Can you say please?" He's like, "I just want you to say
stared at
please."
him.
And then,
And then he went and sat down, and some other guy who was sitting behind him, shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
So-
See,
I'm like, you say one more thing to me, I'm going to go get you kicked out.
okay,
Yeah.
so can we just be on the same page here and say, for the most part, teenagers in general are cringe?
oh, 100%. I was a cringy
Like,
teenager.
Hot
Some are
take?
more socially apt than others.
Yeah,
was-
there's
Some
a
are.
wide array.
Some are.
Like this weekend, we met a young guy who was
yes.
incredibly socially awkward
Yes.
and didn't understand social
Social
cues
cues?
and
Yes.
standards and
Yep.
just didn't care
Yep.
if he knew the person or not. And that's all right.
Yep.
Love the kid. It's okay.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. I would. It
That's
just
great.
seems like
Have a good
7.
weekend.
He's got a good
But
I'd say like
a couple times I had
75%
to
of
say,
teenagers.
don't say stuff like that, man.
Yep.
That's
yeah, he
rude.
would like kind of go up to people and be like, "You're weird," and it's like, "You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't just go up to random people and say that."
like pot kettle.
Yeah.
But no, and it was fine. It wasn't huge things.
No.
he didn't quite understand. He was a bit different. So
Yeah.
I don't know, that kind of thing.
No, that's
Not
the
reading
thing.
the room. That's cringe.
Yeah, that makes
for
me cringe. Like
Yeah.
the whole like, I mean, like that whole situation. Like I was cringing. I was mad, and I was like, "Shut up!" But at the same time, I'm like, this is so like cringy. Like I can't handle this.
Are you talking about
And
the kid or me?
the kid?
Okay.
And then at the end of the movie, the other group behind us
Oh, they would
was
shut
like
up.
the post-credit scene, like it was like a soap opera, like they were watching a soap opera.
It was in Spanish.
Yeah, and it was in Spanish,
And
and,
the-
like she
the
was
kid-
like pregnant or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, she's pregnant! I know it. She's pregnant!" And, like kept saying that, like yelling
Yeah.
that.
So actually,
It's
that
yelling at
Come
stupid
on.
things. Oh, it's Superman.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Shut up,
yeah.
man.
I have a very similar experience with.
We called the cops on him later, so it's fine.
I,
It's
We did.
true.
That
Oh,
is
did you
true.
really?
He did.
Joel did.
Yep, Joel did, and then
they were being
yeah,
morons in the parking lot
the parking
afterwards,
lot. They were like
chasing
doing
each other on
wheelies
mopeds
on
and
their
stuff.
mopeds
Oh,
and-
God.
just running around, so we called the cops on him.
So I was gonna say I had a very similar experience in a movie theater. That it's funny. Like my dad and my sister actually got mad at me for being annoyed at this, and it was the new Star Wars movie. I think it was the most recent one that came out.
Rise Skywalker.
Yes, it was that one. We were at that. We were watching it in theaters, and my sister was with a group of friends that in the same theater, like just not too far away from us, and it was a bunch of high schoolers who the whole time, oh. I actually was getting pissed, right?
That's when you go
And
to management and say, "Get
the-
these people out of here."
The only reason
should.
why I didn't say anything is because my sister was with that group. But I told my sister afterwards, and I told my dad this as well. I'm like, you guys were the most obnoxious group I think I've ever been in a movie with.
Obnoxious people.
And
It's my cringe.
they both actually
Very
they
cringe.
both got mad at me for calling her and her friends out. Well, they were just having fun. No, they're being idiots.
That's not
Yeah.
a, it's
That's
not a
not
place to have
fun.
fun. People
Yeah.
pay to enjoy that movie.
exactly, and that's my
That's
point.
just disrespectful.
Like that's
I
another
think-
thing. It's super cringy.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I think it's also I don't know. It's kind of weird
Time
because I
and a
think
place.
sometimes there is
Exactly.
a time for it. I think or can be.
not
Yeah.
in a movie theater. That's
Yeah,
not
when
one
you're
of those
when you're
places.
at your friend's house.
The thing is though,
then
like
sure.
I thought Endgame was way better because
Oh,
of the fact
God.
that the whole theater was in on this and like excited for these things.
I hated
that,
that.
that was what
I
that wasn't
hated that.
obnoxious people
yeah,
though.
see that's the thing. That's
that
what I'm saying.
was that was emotional
like
stuff.
that
Like
that
you
cheering
loved
and
what
that
that
stuff.
was.
Yeah, that stuff.
And I
is
understand Jordan's
distasteful. Yeah,
point,
no.
and I understand the other side.
Yep.
But what we're talking about is obnoxious people
No,
that aren't there to
absolutely.
watch the movie.
Absolutely.
They're there to be retards.
Yep, exactly, absolutely. No, I totally. agree
You're
with that.
correct. You are
I'm
correct.
Sorry,
Correct.
I said that word. Some people don't like it. When I say that word, and I don't usually, it's not about anyone with a mental disability.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just moronic people. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yes.
about.
I think
Well,
everyone. I think most people would know.
Sorry,
but-
it's the internet, so I thought I'd,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clarify.
Well, it's
Explain
like the
myself.
scene from The Office when Michael Scott, what he goes, you don't call retarded people retards as bad taste. You call your friends retards when they're acting retarded.
That's true.
It's kind of like that.
I've always, if it's that person, it's a mental disability. That's all I've
Yes.
ever thought. I've never used that word
Yeah.
into interchangeably ever.
Yeah. But no, like I totally agree. But I think not every time that happens is necessarily bad. Like I think
If it's obnoxious people,
yes, if it's just like one group of kids and they're being stupid.
See, and that's what
but,
this
like,
was at Star
if-
Wars.
yeah,
It was
what
that
is the
one,
purpose?
the one group of high schoolers that were sitting there, And the whole time, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I wanted to turn around and just be like, would you all shut up? But it was my sister's friends, like, and she was with a group, so I didn't want to like super embarrass my
Should have
sister.
invited me. I would have said something.
Yeah.
I
I
would
would've said
love
something.
to. I didn't want to like embarrass my sister.
Like-
Like I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, she's with her group of friends. Like I will.
What is the person's intent?
Yeah.
That's what you really need to
See,
ask.
and their
Yeah.
intent is to go and have fun with their friends, but
Yeah.
their friends
time and a
and the
place.
fun with their friends would ruin the fun for me, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was.
What is their definition of fun too? Like, is fun just being obnoxious, or is fun watching the movie and having a good time? Like,
Yeah.
like it depends on the person. I was in a movie. It was an animated movie, so kids were there, right?
Yeah,
And this kid was having a really good time. I don't know if it was his first movie or not, but he's like, "Oh, it's so cool," or something. You know, just a really little kid.
yeah.
And I'm like, "That's fine."
See, I
Yeah,
can get over
like
that.
he's not trying to take away
No,
from
he's-
everyone.
Well,
He's
no,
just
because
really
he
having a
doesn't.
good
He
time.
doesn't know better, and he's there to. He's having fun.
That's
now,
fine, but when it's
Exactly.
a teenager that's just doing something stupid
Yeah.
for the fact of I want attention and to bother others,
Yep.
they can get out.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep,
100%.
absolutely.
Agreed.
Yep.
They can get out.
100% agree. Is there anything else that we want to add on to this at all?
I don't know.
think-
We're about
We
out
are.
of time
I
here.
think
this has been an hour and a half long
just
show.
kind of like
so
for me when I look
usually
at
is.
it, it's just a lot of things make me cringe. Like I was talking about this a little bit before we started, but like I have like an empathy cringe. I don't know what you call
So
it.
do I.
But it's like
Just, it's when people are embarrassed, you feel the embarrassment.
yes, exactly. Like
I'm
see,
like that,
I
too.
laugh.
like
at
I
that.
can't watch certain things. Like I used to think Impractical Jokesters funny, but
It
I
is.
can't even. It is, and it
It
is
is
generally
funny,
funny.
but-
But some of the
Love.
situations are
But,
so
like, I
awkward.
just-
I'm like, wow,
yep.
that
Yeah.
hurts me a little bit to watch it.
Yeah,
because
exactly. Like
embarrassed
I'm
for
just
that
like,
person.
oh, like I can't believe they. Like a good example is one episode when they're like, I think he's got blindfold. They're like doing the blindfold thing, and they're like out in like Texas or whatever, and he goes up to this. They're like directing him to say stuff and like walk up to people and talk to them.
Yeah.
And they have to say. He has to say what they tell him.
Yep.
And he had the blindfold glasses on, and he's at this like really old couple, and he's like supposed to say, "Do you remember the Alamo?" And I'm like, oh, and he's like this sweet old couple is like trying to talk to him, like actually like have a conversation with him, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
See,
like, I can't do this.
I love stuff like that. I don't know, when I see people in awkward situations, it brings me joy. I have that sense of humor. It's like some people, like with you saying you have basically a sympathy cringe. It's like the people when they see someone throw up, they have a sympathy puke. Like they feel like they have to puke too. I don't know. That makes me laugh as well though.
I
But
feel that just when people are embarrassed in awkward situations.
see, and I don't get that.
Is it you're more of a sympathy for the funny, or is it you just like people's pain?
probably like.
I
He
think
probably
it's
just
the
likes the
latter.
pain.
I think it's definitely the latter as well.
It 100% is the latter. I mean, I enjoy seeing people in awkward situations because it makes me laugh. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Like when I put you in that awkward situation at the gas station in Tennessee.
Don't get your.
Some would
pleasure
just call you
from
a jerk.
My pain.
Some might call me a jerk, and that's okay. But I'm having fun.
Have you
So.
ever heard that song, Jordan?
What?
Don't get your pleasure
Hey,
from my pain.
Those obnoxious kids in
in
the movie
God's
theater
eyes, we're
have
all
that
the
same
same.
mentality.
It's true.
Yeah.
They do.
So, which one's okay?
Well, I know when to turn it on and off. When I'm in a
Do you though?
when I'm in a gas station.
Do you though?
Yes, because no one's sitting there trying to watch and enjoy something in a gas station. So I'm not ruining their gas station experience by
I
talking
don't
to
know.
Logan.
You ruined my gas station experience.
That's because I love you. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think it's hilarious, but there's a lot of cringy situations. I would
Don't
laugh
do it
at.
when you take away from someone else's experience.
But if the only
when
person,
it matters, you know.
when it matters. Now, if I'm taking away Logan's gas station experience at a random place in Tennessee, where
Also
he'll
has
never
to be
see these
someone
people
you know, I
again.
think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not-
it definitely
not
needs to be
random
somebody you
people.
know.
So that
Which is why Impractical Jokers is sometimes really hard to watch because
Yeah.
it's not people they know.
yeah, exactly.
but they're putting their friends who they know in an awkward. So that's what makes it funny.
But
Yeah.
it also
Yeah,
makes
so
it
that's
awkward for the
awkward.
other
Yeah.
people.
Well, no, and
Everybody
I get
else.
that, but that, like, how many other people in that gas station were probably like, "Oh my gosh, like that guy's an idiot," like
Oh,
probably most of
everybody.
them. But I don't care. So that's one of those and they have the same mentality on Impractical Jokers. They don't care, and
course
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Logan cared. I did not. Those other people in the gas station all were looking at me like, "What is wrong with this guy?" And I'm following Logan. Logan, let's get the gas station swag.
I was
You
like,
know, and his
walk out the
face
door.
gets all red, and he's like, "I don't know this guy. Like, please, just get away from me. I don't." He's like walking, and I'm following him.
Someone
to
call the
his
police.
gas
This
station.
man's harassing me.
Will not be harassed in my own private domicile.
Oh man!
But
yeah,
seriously, we should probably be ending this here.
This has been a long episode.